In tonight's main event, Dominik Mysterio returns to the top spot in the company as he battles a man looking to get there more regularly in Mike Santana. Plus, Dario Cueto tells his monsters how they're going to revive Catrina. The trio's titles are on the line as the Cartel defend against Rey Mysterio, Dragunov, and Dragon Lee. And finally, the Dark Rey Fenix does something that he might regret. This is episode 19 of the revival of Lucha Underground, Preparing the Ritual. Opening the show, Dario Cueto once again broke up some tension between his monsters Mil Muertes and Matanza. He told them to meet him later as he is going to reveal the plans to begin a ritual to the gods to revive Catrina. Mil, of course, looked skeptical after Catrina's spirit came to him a few weeks ago and told him that Dario was lying about being able to revive her. A new look for Chelsea Green here, but she took a beating in this one. Ethan Page was nursing some injuries from last week, so Chelsea had to go it alone against the vicious and powerful Ivy Nile. The thing that lets Ivy Nile down in situations when she's in control is that she listens to the crowd too much. She took her eye off the ball one too many times and Chelsea capitalised. She hit the Unpretty Her and put Nile away for only her first defeat in the Temple. In El Jefe's office, Lucha Underground champion Chad Gable was making himself at home, which Undertaker obviously hated. He told Gable that his first title defence in 1 week will be against former Lucha Underground champion Samoa Joe. He said he hopes Chad understands that he had to grant this to Joe because he owes Joe a favour. Gable sipped his milkshake and said now El Jefe owes him one, and since his boys, the Creed brothers, were not the team pinned in their triple threat match for the tag team titles a few weeks ago, Bruce and Julius deserve a 2-on-2 shot against Chelsea and Ethan. El Jefe said he would take it under advisement. Prince Apollo of Lagos bumped into a man he has teamed with multiple times in recent months, Panther Ali. The friends showed mutual respect as Ali suggested that they make their tag team a more regular thing. He suggested that the pair need each other for honour, for legacy, and Prince Apollo added for Wakanda. Ali smiled and assumed it must be a Nigerian thing. The group of dragons that Rey Mysterio has assembled were amazing tonight. They flew around the ring and hit high impact offense. The crowd loved them and the Cartel couldn't handle them at first. The powerful and wealthy group soon settled though and isolated Dragon Lee until he finally tagged in Dragunov. The powerful and intense Russian threw everyone around until things broke down into a brilliant tornado war that the referee lost all control of. Rey Mysterio was celebrating taking Santos down with a head scissors on the outside when out of nowhere Rey Fenix arrived and shoved Mysterio into the ring post. Dragon Lee saw him do it and asked him why, but Fenix punched Dragon Lee and then took off, with his former friend giving chase. Tony D'Angelo and Angel Garza took full advantage and they double-teamed Dragunov in the ring before putting him away with a forget-about-it spinebuster. The Cartel retained. Dragon Lee chased Rey Fenix and then finally caught up with him. The two masked flyers began to brawl and the dark deranged Fenix was almost acting like he was letting Lee hit him, but he was leading his former friend somewhere. When they made it to a staircase, Fenix grabbed Lee and held him down, saying that if he wants to end this, he'll follow Fenix up the stairs because Fenix has got something to show him. They brawled at the top of the stairs and then burst through some doors and Fenix had set a trap. A fire extinguisher went off in Dragon Lee's face and now they were high above the ramp and the ring. Soon, Dragon Lee found himself hanging over a balcony, and Fenix was holding him. Until he wasn't. The thud was sickening. We didn't see it. All we saw were doctors and referees tending to Dragon Lee at ringside. An eerie scene and an uncomfortable announce team wished him well and said they looked to give us an update on his condition later in the show. In a similarly disturbing scene, Dario Cueto told Matanza and Mil Muertes about the impending doom that will become the believers in the temple. He said he had spoken to the Purple Stone and it told him to gather 3 things bonded by death, power and soul if he wants to revive Catrina. First, death. They need to bring the heart of a former Lucha Underground champion. Next, power. The forgotten gauntlet of the gods. Catrina walked beside death, only a god's hand can pull her back from it. And third, soul. Someone's dying breath captured in this vessel, and Dario said that he knows just who that should be. In an effort to try and lift the spirits of the crowd, one of our session bands, Mariachi del Infierno, played one of their songs for the live crowd and got them excited about the next match. Lola and Vikingo instantly clicked in this one, and it was a great fight with two very distinct styles. Lola is a fiery striker, and Vikingo sticks and moves quicker than anyone else. It was a short match here because Vikingo had other plans. He rolled Lola up unexpectedly, held onto her tights, and she could not kick out. And then Vikingo did something even more unexpected. He tied Lola's hair to the top rope and started slapping her and kicking her as she swung at him and tried to get free. This brought Mike Santana out to the ring, and Vikingo smirked and ran. El Grande Americano and Los Americanos came to us live from a suburban town next, like something out of the 1960s. But he said that he and his crew are going up after their trios win last week. He confirmed that next week, Bravo and Rayo Americano will be in tag team action against the team that annoys everyone with their laughter and tomfoolery, Cruz del Toro and Joaquin Woe. Rey Fenix was being escorted out of the arena by security guards when they came across Samoa Joe, who was stood clearly waiting for them. He turned to Fenix as they stopped beside him, and he said he dares Fenix to do what he did to Dragon Lee to him. Fenix was pulled away by the security guards, but there was a lot of tension. In the ring, two fighters with a lot to prove in Lucha Underground. Both have had very mixed starts to their careers here. Mike Santana was not in the mood for Dirty Dom's antics tonight, having saved Lola Vice from Vikingo earlier, and he took his aggression out on the young Mysterio. But Vikingo made his presence known again as he ran to the ring to distract Santana. The burly Puerto Rican swung for him when he climbed up onto the apron, but then he dropped down and avoided it, leaving the door wide open for a 619 from Dominik and a frog splash that the great Eddie Guerrero would have been proud of. Elio LaFleur was hanging out with veteran Aerostar, who had said he would keep a close eye on the rookie after he was saved from being sacrificed by Mil Muertes and Matanza. In all timelines, Elio LaFleur was sacrificed, so Aerostar doesn't know what he'll become. It almost looked like Aerostar was teaching Elio how to use his time-travelling powers, but surely he wouldn't risk that, would he? A couple of questions then, let me know in the comments. Should Aerostar allow Elio LaFleur to show him how to time travel? Or would that be too dangerous? And will Dario Cueto and his monsters be successful in their quest for the 3 death, power and soul items? And join me next time where we find out if Mil Muertes and Matanza can get the first of the 3, and it's Samoa Joe versus Chad Gable for the Lucha Underground title in the main event. Thanks for watching. Now make sure to like, comment and subscribe for free so you don't miss an episode. It'd be great to hear from you.